Chrisean Rock just got tied into 3 murders, right? And honestly, I wanted to verify some information before I said it, and it actually came out to be true that she's tied into these murders. So, one of the first murders that everybody was talking about was the man that said that he was the baby dad, right, to her child. Next thing you know, Buddy's gone. So from there, we were seeing a lot of reports. What I really found was like mad sketchy and fishy was the fact that she came online, I think with her sister, and said she's moving out the country, right? All happy and giddy about it. And I was like, moving out the country? I know, you've been through a lot, but moving out the country is a little crazy. Until they started putting two and two together, that's when I was like, wow, okay, fam. I'm hearing supposedly, she was selling that. And one of her friends helped her out getting rid of a pimp or whatever he is, right? And the second murder, we didn't know too much about it. And whenever I get some information, I'm gonna make another video so I can give a nice update about it.
More bad news for Chrisean Rock. The chances that Chrisean Rock
has to be, I hate to say devil advocate, but one thing about her sister, it's hard to take her word serious because one thing about their whole little family, they do things for clicks. It's sad to say they have a real weird relationship, and it's the same woman that's saying that, but this same woman is the same woman that Chrisean claimed did something to her when she was a little girl. So who knows? Her intention could be to mess up her image, but also her intentions, or she could know something that we don't. Now, if people haven't said if he was in the streets too much, I don't know. I did go do my research a little bit and see that he had a mug shot or something from some back in the day, but people just find it suspicious how right before they was going to take their paternity test, he lost his life. Now, I don't really think Chrisean has the IQ enough to have somebody knocked off, whatever, but like I said, it makes the situation bad because Blueface, somebody that she keeps trying to say that baby is his, that he's publicly denouncing, went on to say that, she's known for setting up people, kind of insinuate that, she might have had her hands in it.
He said that he called her, they were in contact before this happened. That's the only red flag I could see. Somebody comes out and says, hey, before this person died, they called me. And this and that, that's just kind of like,
Well, because you said she's a setup artist, so
that's what from my knowledge, yeah, she's known to give addresses and do things in the spur of the moment, be very impulsive. That's from my knowledge. Now, as far as him calling her and then talking the night he died,
Now, I'm going to be real, bro. One thing we all know, what's done in the dark, tend to always come through the light.
Bro, what do you mean Chrisean Rock is going to jail, dog? I saw it coming, but the reason is crazy, bro. So I guess Shorty had a baby recently, right? And there was a problem because Blueface...
Man said he's seeing it coming. Well, anyway, welcome on into another episode of the Gossip Galore News, and today we're talking about Chrisean Rock. Now, Chrisean Rock, to me, she has been in the gym. She's been boxing. She won her last match. She turned her life over to God, XYZ. All she talk about is Yahweh and everything else. Now, remember, these are all allegations. We don't know these things to actually be facts, so we are speculating here. I'm going to say these are allegations. Now, she used to deal with Blueface. If y'all don't know Blueface, he's an entertainer. He does music, but he also does live streaming now. Blueface, though it was a lot of acting in their scene, Blueface already said she's the type, she's a backdoorian. She's the type to backdoor you, drop your addy, XYZ. Blueface admitted to that. So that's one characteristic flaw that I see with Chrisean Rock. 9 times out of 10, when people base their life all around religion and everything else, not down in religion or anything else, not down in God, but 9 times out of 10, either they did something they need forgiveness for, or it could be guilty conscience or anything along that nature. Now, as far as her girlfriend letting the world know that Chrisean Rock is moving, last time I checked, Chrisean Rock actually posted that on a social media platform that she was going to move. Now she's obviously being investigated for a so-called murder. Well, not so-called, because her ex or someone she used to deal with ended up dying. She didn't show any type of remorse or any type of emotions towards the person that ended up dying. This is why, to me, she's getting the backlash and the ridicule, right? But you know, maybe they wasn't on good terms. We don't know the the back end information on. Well, maybe he was stalking her and trying to clout chase and everything else. That's one angle. But when I look at the child, if you got Blueface saying that that's not his child, and when I look at the child, right? But we don't know because DNA, people going to look like. But if you don't have them DNAs results, then we can all be guessing. But the child do kind of favor more Ronnie than he does Blueface. That's just my opinion. Just looking at the child, that's just my opinion. Now, is this a stunt maybe for more attention? Her sisters is basically dry snitching, saying that, hey, y'all know that my sister, she really cuckoo, and they don't believe in coincidences. Before the test, the court ordered test, Ronnie ended up dying. So will that secret die with Chrisean to say, hey, well, he's really the baby's father. It wasn't Blueface. Blueface been stated, and he came out online stating that he been knew that the child wasn't his, but at the end of the day, they had a business, they had contracts together, so he just wanted to drag out the storyline so people can click and view. They understand how the internet works. But leave y'all thoughts down below. What y'all think? Do y'all think that she really knocked this man off? She really paid for it? Will it catch up to her if she did? And remember, these are all allegations. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, show me some love, hype the video up, help me get to 10,000 subs. I appreciate it. Let's go.
He kept saying, hey, this baby ain't mine. And she's like, well, who else will I be with? Boom, this guy pops out of nowhere. His name's Ronnie, right? Ronnie's like, hey, that's my kid. And I want a paternity test. To the point where this guy took Chrisean to court and she has to provide a paternity test to prove that it's not Blueface's, that it's this guy Ronnie's, right? Week before Chrisean needs to do this, my man is found unalived, pop, dead. What? And everyone's like, this is all pointing to Chrisean. And they're saying it's pointing to Chrisean because she doesn't want it to be Ronnie's baby. She wants it to be Blueface's. You know what I'm saying? But my man Ronnie was adamant. He's like, that's my kid, cuz. And we're going to go to court. And it never happened because this is wild.
Police say the investigation into the of Chrisean Rock's ex-boyfriend, Ronnie Doe, is still very much active. More than a year after Ronnie Doe, whose real name was Karan Khan, was shot in Maryland, police tell TMZ detectives are continuing to work the case, but are not releasing any new details. Before his death, Karan made headlines after publicly claiming he was the father of Chrisean Rock's son, Chrisean Jr. Although Chrisean has said time after time that Blueface is the child's father, even though Blueface has publicly disputed paternity. Karan and Chrisean were also involved in a public confrontation at a Maryland.
That's crazy how Blueface and Ronnie look alike. One thing I can tell y'all about females is females got a type. Each female got a different type of guy that they like. Some like the shortcut, some like the light skin, some like the bad boys, some like the good guys, some like the dreads, some like the low cut, some like the fade. It all depends on what they like. To me, she have a type. And to me, her types is damn near familiar in attributes. So I could see why people wasn't questioning, oh, no, that's baby. That's our Blueface child. I could see why they didn't have that hint. But Blueface already dropped the gem. That is not my kid. He already dropped it. He already said what he said. It ain't my child. And he probably already know how Chrisean Rock be moving. Yeah, they may be doing content together and she may be good for those type of things. But as far as after that, as far as the type of person she is, as far as at least what we seen, and we can't, these celebrity shows and live streaming, y'all got to remember that some of these are acts. Some of these are performative arts. At the end of the day, they are artists. So some of these stories, it could be crafted, it could be put together, it could be created just for attention. Doesn't mean that it has to be true. Hell no, it don't have to be true at all. It could be true to someone that's going through those type of situations and different simulations, right? It could be true as far as that aspect, but as far as being true pertaining to their life, absolutely not. This is why people don't understand the difference between the internet. See, the internet, you can come and you can curate, narrate your own story. Anyone can do it. And if you get big enough, you're going to have something called influence. So to me, it's an open canvas. I see the art, and I see the work. I see the fact that they're trying to be relatable and clickable and everything else. I get the business behind it. But a lot of people don't know that these storylines don't necessarily have to be true. But yet they watch and they pay attention as if it is.
Mall just weeks before Karan's death, where police responded after an argument between the former couple. Then in February 2025, Karan was fatally shot outside a home in Maryland in what investigators believe was a targeted attack. He was found suffering from multiple gunshot wounds and later died at a nearby hospital. Now, more than a year later, no suspect has been publicly identified, no arrests have been announced, and police say the homicide investigation remains open. Police say the investigation into the of Chrisean Rock's ex-boyfriend, Ronnie Doe, is still very much
Crazy.
The murder of Ronnie Doe is heating up so bad that TMZ had to get involved. Chrisean Rock's ex-boyfriend.
And one thing, I don't trust everything TMZ say. But I got to understand with all of these platforms, right? Take it with a grain of salt. All of these platforms, because some people are being paid to put out stories. Some people are being paid to control narratives. You got to understand the business behind it. But let's continue. Remember, take it with a grain of salt.
For Ronnie Doe.
Or sugar, if that's what you like.
Murder still under investigation, 17 months and counting. The 2025 murder of Chrisean Rock's ex-boyfriend, Karan Ronnie Doe remains unsolved. But I want y'all to look at the doggone police report before we do anything else, because that right there is one of the most important things. And then I'm going to show you what the actual area looks like that he died in. Criminal Investigation Division, Homicide Investigation, Severin, 2570-3711 on February 3rd, 2025 at approximately 7:10 p.m. Officers responded for a report of multiple gunshots fired in the area of Severin Tree Boulevard and 7 Pine Circle in Severin. Responding, officers discovered a male victim lying on the ground in front of a home in the 1700 block of C Pine Circle with an apparent gunshot wound or wounds. Officers administered medical aid to the victim, who was transported by fire department personnel to the University of Maryland, Baltimore, Washington Medical Center, where he was pronounced deceased. The victim was identified as 24-year-old Kyron McCall Can of Severn, Maryland. The Ann Arundel Police Homicide Unit assumed responsibility for the investigation. Homicide detectives and evidence collection unit personnel arrived on scene where multiple items of evidence were collected at the crime scene. Several witnesses were located and interviewed regarding the shooting. The preliminary investigation indicates this was a targeted incident and not a random act of violence. This is an active and ongoing investigation. Detectives ask that anyone with information get their asses a call. They're going to reveal that they've spoken to witnesses who've seen the whole thing happen. And I'm going to be fair, square, obvious, and honest. It's not that hard nor difficult to go, well, shit, if this person chased this person down and it's clear that it's something going on, that this wasn't an isolated incident, meaning like, oh, you hit my car or we were talking, got into it and pow, you know what I'm saying? It seemed like he was either being chased or stalked or hunted down, one of the two, but they get more to it. But police tell TMZ the investigation is still active as detectives continue working to identify and catch the killer. Notice how they didn't put plural there. Justin McCulley, I don't know how to say his shit. Anyways,